Hello there again my friends, this is Boy and His Dog, and welcome to the channel where I play and review every game released on the Evercade, old and new. In today's video we continue our butchers of the 7th Evercade arcade cart, Irem Arcade 1, with the 6th game, R-Type. Let's take a butchers. It begins in deep space warped by evil power, a domain dominated by hatred and carnage, that is the Bido Empire. There live weird and monstrous creatures, a sight of which will horrify you. Your mission is to annihilate them all. Here begins a spectacular battle in suspense and thrill. R-Type is a legendary horizontal shooter developed by Irem and released in the arcades in 1987, and was the start of a truly amazing series. It's hard to talk about R-Type and not mention what this beast became and is still becoming, so here's a little history and some tasty tidbits. If you ever wondered, the R in R-Type stands for Ray. It's a type of weapon your ship uses. The force power that you gain in this game, more on that in a bit, originally came from the idea of a dung beetle, with the idea you power up the dung, not the beetle. This always makes me chuckle. There have been several entries in the series after the success of R-Type. R-Type 2 soon followed in the arcades in 1988. This itself was followed up with the curiously titled Cosmic Cop in 1991, which was more land-based but still retained much of the style of the previous titles. R-Type Leo was the final arcade title to be released in 1992. The series continued with a true numbered sequel, R-Type 3 The Third Lightning, on the SNES in 1993. Then, in 1999, we got the awesome polygonal R-Type Delta on the PS1. But for me, it wasn't until the PS2 era that I finally found my favourite title in the series, R-Type Final in 2004. This was the Gran Turismo of shoot 'em ups with an expanded garage of up to 101 ships to unlock. Every version of R-Type ships from every game, and then some. And now my latest obsession, R-Type Final 2, which is very shortly morphing into R-Type Final 3 Evolved for the PS5 era. An extra note is you can play most of the original R-Type levels within R-Type Final 2 and 3, but obviously with a huge graphical overhaul and made to fit with the new iteration, but with the ability to use any combination of ships for the entire series and all the different bits and forces. But it all started here with the original, so what is it about this game that is so great the series still continues to this day? Let's take a look. First and foremost, it's always had a wonderful graphical style. The detail on the enemies and surrounding world you fly through are great. The bosses themselves on the whole are amazingly designed and also memorable. Who doesn't know the first end of level boss at this point? Whether you've played the game or not, you may not remember where it's from, but you would certainly recognise the image, one would imagine. There's just this great organic mixture of machinery look to this game that only increases the further you get into the series, and I love it. But memorable visual design can only take you so far. It's in the gameplay systems that the game really shines. Unlike a lot of shoot 'em ups, this is far more strategic than it first appears. And the reason for this is the previously mentioned force. When you first begin, you have nothing but a weak simple gun. Yeah, you can get through it on just this, if you're a psychopath. If you hold down the fire button, you can build up a bigger, more powerful attack, which is great for bosses but will leave you vulnerable and unable to fire while you do it. Thankfully there is much more to your arsenal. You can grab these cool little tykes called bits that hang above and below, though it takes a while to get your second one. They are brilliant for defense and can help to destroy enemies through collision. You can also gain missiles too, which are great help, and speed ups, which are equally helpful but can take a moment to acclimatise with. At full speed, it's easy to overdo a move. But just like Star Wars, Luke used the Force. Yeah, you knew I was going to do a reference somewhere. Shooting armor pods in the level will drop coloured gems. Your first one will gain you access to the Force, This is a hugely versatile little beastie. First and foremost, you can attach it to the front or rear of your ship. Not only meaning you can shoot ahead or behind, but it's also great at absorbing most enemy shots and killing some enemies outright if they fly into it. So it's a great offensive and defensive bit of kit. But that's not all. The second gem and onwards that you collect, depending on its colour, will give you one of 3 types of attacks. The first flavour is red and gives you 2 lasers, blue and red, that shoot forward in joined semicircles. The blue shots out diagonal laser fire, and the yellow flavour shoots above and below and travels along whatever surface it hits. All are great for different scenarios, and picking the wrong one, sometimes by accident, can make a section a lot trickier than you'd like it to be. So memorising stages and the best flavour for each section is an absolute must. But even that's not all. You can punch the force bit through enemies and leave it independent of your ship to attack places you can't reach. Even positioning it near a boss to continue to attack it even if you can't get your ship anywhere near. There is a lot of variety to the stages, and this isn't just the visuals. One stage is basically one long boss battle as you fly around a giant battle cruiser, shooting sections off on your way to finding the heart of the beast, the one point that will destroy it utterly. This game is hard, but not as hard as some other shooters on the Evercade by miles, or the insane high difficulties you face in console iterations like R-Type Final, Final 2 and 3. But it will give you a hefty challenge, especially some of those later bosses too. But take the punishment, learning the stages and the different ways you can tackle them, and when it clicks, it just bloody clicks. It's hard not to draw this little tough bugger, even if at times, well most of the time, it feels like it hates your back. I love this game, I love this series. This review was never going to be anything other than me saying shucks, ain't it bloody good, even after all these years. If there is one complaint, it's only at myself. I need to get better at it. I would love to see console R-Types on the Evercade. R-Type 3 and Delta would be beyond awesome. But failing them, at least R-Type 2, please and thank you Blaze. You know you want to. So yeah, not a game or a cart to sleep on guys. Buy it, play it, die a lot, and bloody enjoy it. And if you've made it here to the end of the video, thank you ever so much for joining me. Leave a thumbs up or a comment if you would like. Either way, I'm just chuffed you poked your head in to take a gander. As always, I hope you're having an awesome day, my friends. Be seeing you.